welcome back to Gay by Gay.
Hi.
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 How you doing?
We're someone's drunk aunts right now.
I hope we're the cool aunts, though.
The not drunk ants.
Yeah. Happy May 4th, everybody. Well, it's not going to be May 4th when this goes up.
Oh, definitely not.
Definitely not. This is going up in like 2 or 3 weeks, I think. But May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. Star Wars pun. Hashtag Star Wars. Hashtag puns.
Yeah.
Hashtag please give us all the likes. I'm out of it today.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I'm just talking. That's how bad I am. I'm
just
recovering
talking.
from a migraine, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, you got your first ever migraine yesterday.
Yeah, I started migrating to that plane of existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Migraines aren't fun.
They weren't that fun, actually. Yeah.
No,
I
not
remember
good.
I come to work, and this is a good story. I started school yesterday.
Yep.
And I because I start school, I'm starting to go to work an hour earlier, and it's the butt crack of dawn. And I'm asleep, and I wake up, and my head hurts 10 times worse than how it was when I went to sleep. Because it hurt when I went to sleep, too, but it was worse. And then I get ready, I go to work, and I take my antibiotic, because I have stuff, I'm on antibiotics right now. And I gag on it, and I take 3 steps toward the washroom, and I'm like, no, I'm okay. And then, like, every time I leaned down and I stood up, I'd had to, like, take a second because I thought I was going to die.
Ugh.
And, like, any time I sneezed,
Ooh,
that was the worst.
no, because that's going to send it pounding.
Yeah, that would, like, it felt like someone just, like, beat me over the head with a wooden plank.
Yep.
Now it only feels like my head got stomped on, like, a week ago. It's not that bad.
Great. Fabulous.
I have a weak stomped head.
Also, just a quick side note here. I sent it to you in the group chat the other day. Y'all, I don't know what happened. Some weird ass person sent me like a sugar daddy request, and I just about fell off my couch laughing. It's like some freaky old dude, and he was like, "Hey, I could be your sugar daddy," and I was like, "Oh,
they lurk and stuff."
And I was like, "Where did you come from?
Yeah,
Where did
they
you
lurk
find
and
me?
stuff.
Get away!" So, just in other news, just everything's falling apart.
Yeah, I think so.
You're sick. I got contacted. This poor little mini ace over here got contacted by some gross ass dude, and I'm just like, oh my god, get me out of here.
They, like, stalk things and just live.
Honey, I've had more than enough experience with being stalked. I don't need that again, let me tell you. But none of these are the things that we're talking about today.
No, we're always off topic at the beginning. The beginning.
The beginning. I don't know what's wrong with it. We cannot start a single episode on topic, I swear to God.
Also, if you haven't yet, please check out all of our Justin Trudeau episodes of our little reaction Sundays there, because they are phenomenal. Amazing.
I think by the time this goes up, I think all 3 of them, because there's 3 parts to that. I think all 3 parts should be up.
Go check them out.
Listen to them. Share them. Spread the Canadian gospel.
Yes, it is so good. I think I would rate it even better than Hello, Darling.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's so good.
That was like, oh my God. Hello, Darling, I would have said was like an 8. This is like an 11.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. So good. I had so much fun. Believe it or not, I don't normally listen to our own episodes.
Yeah.
I actually listened back to the first episode, and I laughed.
Yeah.
That sounds really weird probably to everybody out there, but I normally don't laugh at our own jokes because I think that they're mostly fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It shows you the quality of the podcast.
Well, they probably think so, too.
That's why they're listening, obviously. But it legitimately made me laugh, which I wasn't expecting.
It was
because
so funny.
Normally, I'm one of those people where, like, I can't watch videos of myself, I can't look at pictures of myself, and I certainly can't hear myself talking. Editing the podcast is a nightmare for me every single week because I'm like, I hate this. But that was legitimately funny to me, so make sure to go and check those out because they're absolutely great.
Yeah.
And once again, we're almost 5 minutes into an episode and haven't even touched on the topic that we're talking about.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking about the whole Demi Lovato thing.
Which one? There's many things.
I mean, you're not wrong. There are many things. We are talking, I don't want to call it a scandal because that's not what it is, but her whole recent little thing about...
Now I'm just thinking about the great cookie scandal of 2021.
Well, I mean, you call it that if you want, because that's kind of exactly what this is.
Yeah.
It was Demi Lovato getting her panties so far twisted up her ass that I'm pretty sure that they may have been coming out her mouth. About what she said was a diet cookie, which wasn't even a diet cookie, but we'll get into all of that because I mean, I'd like to say, oh, maybe some of you don't know. I'm pretty sure almost everybody knows at this point because I think everyone has just seen the screenshots of Demi giving her half-assed, not quite apology on Instagram Live or whatever.
I don't know. I saw it go by and I kind of looked at it and I was like, is this something that's going to add to my life? And I said no, and I scrolled past.
See, I think for me, the reason I paid attention to it was because she said a couple of hot button words that made me tune in, but upon reviewing everything, it's very clear that she was using those hot button words as an excuse to get herself out of trouble, but we'll cover all of that. So to lay the kind of groundwork for what actually happened from my understanding. So let me just say that, again, I got this from a couple of different sources. Each one was slightly different, so if I don't have the full and true story, I am sorry for that. Again, I'm just kind of going off of what I read, and at this point, what I remember. I'm not reading an article or anything. I'm just going off of what I remember. So some of the details may be shady or fuzzy at best.
Shady details.
Shady details. But from my understanding, what had happened was Demi Lovato, in her queenly glory, finally decided to leave her McMansion.
Yeah.
And she decided to go and get some frozen yogurt. I mean,
Froyo.
Wow.
I want froyo.
What an odyssey. What a journey.
I know.
We're so proud. But, so she goes into this little mom and pop shop. I don't even really recall the name of the shop at this point, but it's I think they said something like 30 or 40 years old, something like that. But it was like a kind of small family-run business, not like one of those big chain stores that you see everywhere.
Yeah.
And I guess she had gone in to get some frozen yogurt, and she ended up having a complete meltdown over one of the products that they were offering, which she said was a diet cookie. She said that there was no way she could get past it. She was like, it was right there, right in my face, being pushed at me, all of this diet culture, diet food, being pushed at me. And, she said that it triggered her eating disorder because, unfortunately, she does have a history of having an eating disorder.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was bulimia or anorexia. I don't really recall, but I do know that it was quite serious, and she does still struggle with it to this day.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, she has my greatest sympathies.
Yeah.
I know exactly what she's going through. Hello, Queen of ED over here.
Yeah.
Hi. I mean, hell, I still struggle with mine.
Yeah.
And we're about the same age, so I get where she's coming from. However, the problem that I have is that she then took to Instagram and started calling them out on how they, quote, needed to do better. She had said that their service wasn't good, which turned out not to be true, but we'll get into that as well. She had said that they needed to be more considerate of other people.
Yeah.
And basically, she had just said that the whole thing was a horrible, horrible, terrible experience. And then, of course, I don't know if we can necessarily blame Demi Lovato for this specifically, and yet, as someone who has a major platform, she has 100 million followers or something?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot of followers.
She's a pop star.
I was going to say, what do you expect, right? But then all of her little stans decided to go over to this small business. Remind you, it is a small family-run business. In 2021, the age of COVID, in LA, where most businesses are struggling to even stay on their feet and stay open, and all of the little Demi Lovato stans decided to go and start leaving them fake, bad reviews.
Yeah.
And the reason we know that these are fake is because they basically said verbatim what Demi had said in her complaints about them just having bad service and how they were pushing diet culture and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So you know that they didn't even fucking set foot in the place.
God, no.
And it's like, that's not okay. You can't just destroy a small business's reputation because somebody famous decided to have a little bit of a temper tantrum over what she said was a diet cookie.
Yeah.
Now, let me make this clear. It was not a diet cookie.
No, what was it?
It was a sugar-free cookie for diabetic people.
Oh.
And this is where I start getting frustrated.
I didn't know that diabetic people existing is perpetuating diet culture, actually.
Now you can kind of see my issue.
Yeah.
So, of course, she went off on this business, and the business actually tried to contact her and said, we're so sorry to hear that you didn't like our business. We're sorry for that.
Yeah.
And she went off on them, toxically went off on them. We're going to take a quick break here. While we're on break, I'm going to see if I can actually find the messages because they really, really bothered me.
Okay.
And then we're going to kind of get into the aftermath and everything, because I think everyone knows at this point that she did put out an apology.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you right now, spoiler alert, it wasn't a fucking apology.
No.
It was her justifying her shitty behavior and saying that she was doing it for the good of others. So already, you know, I'm bothered as hell, but we'll get into that.
Yes. Hello and welcome back to Gay by Gay.
We're back.
I like saying.
So, while I was on the break, I was looking for all of those messages.
You were scouting.
I found out that it goes even deeper, and I'm shocked because I didn't know about the second part.
Yeah.
So, we're going to go quickly over the messages that I was able to find. There were a couple that I couldn't.
Yeah.
I do know for a fact that she made some sort of statement along the lines of, basically, you don't want to mess with me. Which, I mean, come on now. You're a super rich pop star, and you're going to say that to a small family business?
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with me? Like, really? If that's not a threat. But I couldn't find that message. But we're going to start at the beginning. So the first thing she posted on her Instagram was finding it extremely hard to order froyo from the Big Chill official, that's the name of the business, the Big Chill. When you have to walk past tons of sugar-free cookies / other diet food before you get to the counter, do better, please. # diet culture vultures. Mm-hmm. And they basically responded, and they were like, we carry items for diabetics, celiac disease, vegan, and of course, many other indulgent items as well.
Yeah.
And I just can't believe that her general reaction was to call them, like, number one, diet culture vultures when they're literally trying as hard as they can to make sure that anyone who walks into their store can have access to something.
I feel like after that, I would just be like, oh, sorry, guys, my mistake. Like, I didn't realize I probably wasn't looking enough. I'm sorry that I did that.
And once again, it was clear that she was triggered by the eating disorder she has, but that's when you handle your own triggers.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
You handle yourself.
Yeah.
So basically, they end up having this whole thing, and I couldn't find half the messages, so I don't know if that's her team trying to get in the way. I don't know, but I couldn't find them. At the end of it all, she ends up sending them a bunch of messages, and they read, I was thinking maybe it would help if you made it more clear that the sugar-free options and vegan options are for that. Labeling the snacks for celiacs or diabetics or vegans. When it's not super clear, the messaging gets confusing, and being in LA is really hard to distinguish diet culture versus health needs. I think clearer messaging would be more beneficial for everyone. You aren't wrong for catering to many different needs, but it's about not excluding one demographic to cater for others.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, Demi, how about this? How about they don't label everything in order to put your needs ahead of diabetics, vegans, people that suffer from celiac disease. So basically what she's saying is all these people that suffer from actual health issues, well, we need to slap a label on all that so I don't get offended. It's not about their health, it's about my feelings.
It's not.
Now you can see why I'm very bothered by this. I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah.
And she's still not taking responsibility with this. She's saying, you know, I was thinking it would help if you made it more clear that the sugar-free options and vegan options are for that. Okay, bish, if you don't want it, don't buy it.
Yeah, or if you, I don't understand where people have, like, this kind of need just to complain about stuff that they don't have business complaining about. It's not, you don't have control over that, and, like, if you want to make a suggestion, sure, but just don't do it like that, especially when you're you have such a following that can put people out of business.
And that's exactly it. And, I mean, I think the shop had before, like, I think it was like a 4 or 5 star review.
Yeah.
They dropped to 1 star because all of her stans rushed over and gave fake bad reviews.
Yeah.
Because they all just follow what Queen Demi said.
Yeah.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, because it's not right. It's not fair.
It's not at all.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at this point everyone knows that she kind of hopped onto her Instagram live and gave a half-assed sorry, not sorry apology.
Yeah.
And it was literally along the lines of, you know, I got triggered and, you know, it's just really hard for me. She was like, it's hard for me to even work up the courage to walk into a shop like that and then to see all these sugar-free and yada, yada, yada. She was like, it was so overwhelming for me. And basically she went along the lines of saying, like, one of the things she had initially complained about was that there was bad service.
Yeah.
She admits in that video that she didn't even order any fucking frozen yogurt. So she didn't even interact with everyone. She got triggered over the cookie and left, but then tried to tell everyone that there was bad service.
I just don't understand why she would feel the need to call out this small shop when there's just... Maybe what she's talking about is so pervasive, but why do you have to just do that when you could just go somewhere else?
Even more than that, that product wasn't intended for her.
Yeah, exactly.
It was intended for somebody else that has a medical condition.
Yeah.
That means that they can't enjoy what everybody else enjoys.
Yeah.
So in order to include them, this shop decides to sell these products. And it's like, yeah, you know what? Inclusivity.
Yeah.
But then she goes, I'm all for being inclusive, but you can't leave out all of the people that suffer from eating disorders. And I'm like, okay, so instead you would rather have to embarrass people that have, medical problems?
Yeah.
Not everybody wants others to know that they have celiac disease or that they have diabetes or, that most people are pretty proud of being vegan, but that's not the point. My point here is that, so you're telling me that you want all of these things to be clearly labeled to say whether or not they are intended for you, and maybe potentially embarrass these people into not getting these items because they're embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Why do your feelings, just because you're rich, supersede everybody else's?
It doesn't.
Bitch, go back to your fucking mansion if you can't handle it out here. Go home. You have a super rich house that you can just, you can model whatever way you want. You could put in your own fucking frozen yogurt shop in there with no diet options or anything so that you don't get triggered. Go home to your McMansion, okay?
Or order it on Uber Eats.
Literally, you don't want to see it, don't look at it. You don't want it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
But how dare you sit there and say, well, this is a frozen yogurt place, so how dare you offer sugar-free? Because some people watch their sugar intake?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
That's like saying, how dare you offer sugar-free gum at the grocery store? How dare you? It's like, right next to the sugared gum, and I feel very triggered right now.
It's like,
how can I pay attention to this regular gum when there's this sugar-free gum sitting right in front of me?
I feel like it's going up to someone, like a waiter at Olive Garden, and being like, how dare you offer the sauce without meat in it?
Yep. How dare you? How dare you? How am I supposed to feel good about myself when all I can focus on is how I feel guilty over not being vegan?
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what that is. And I'm like, bitch, you already have a ton of money.
Yeah.
What are you complaining about? You can march your ass anywhere you want to and go get anything you want.
Yeah.
So, of course, she gives that whole half-assed apology. And it's just like, no, I'm sorry, that's not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess there was a rumor going around, and this is the second part that we just discovered that I didn't know was a thing until I started looking up these messages. So I guess there had been a statement that apparently Demi's team was going to try to make up for the damages that they had caused by giving a donation to the Big Chill.
Yeah.
Great, fabulous. So you can see that there is a conversation, we will call it, on somebody's story. Now, I don't have all the details for this. I'm just going off of the screenshot that's been captured. This could be real. This may be totally fake. I don't know. But it basically says, hi, could you please confirm on whether or not this interaction is real? Demi is currently getting dragged for it. And what looks like the Big Chill official responds, hello, we've had quite a lot of people asking about this. This DM, and the DM they're referring to is the one where she's going off on them.
Yeah.
So the Big Chill apparently says, this DM is not real. We can gladly confirm that Demi did in fact donate to our shop. Unfortunately, we cannot disclose the amount donated as this is something Demi and her team wanted to keep private. In fact, we recently followed her and would love to do a partnership with her in the future. We'll make more posts about this soon, so make sure to follow us to stay posted. Mm-hmm. So someone else responds. And it's responding to a tweet that says, apparently Demi donated $100,000 to the yogurt shop and wrote a private letter of apology. She really is such a pure soul who just wants to make the world a little bit better and has no ill intentions towards anyone. Of course, she used her whole apology. She basically said, I was defending all of the people out there that don't have a platform but also suffer from eating disorders. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting over there as someone with an eating disorder going, bitch, shut up. I didn't ask you to advocate for me.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you. Go away.
Yeah.
But regardless, so someone sends this to the Big Chill and says, hi, is this true? I'm so happy Demi donated, and I'm glad things did work out well in the end. I will pop by this week to get one of your delicious frozen yogurts. Mm-hmm. And the Big Chill responds with, unfortunately, this is false. Oh. And so the person responds with, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I saw it on Twitter and assumed it was real. Haha, I guess I need to be fact-checking next time. I will for sure be popping in now. I thought Demi was nice for a change. And they responded with, Demi Lovato and her team have been anything but nice to us. And then they made a bit of a statement that said, To those of you asking, we have not received any donations from Demi's team, nor do we want one. We have not made any changes to our menu. We have not heard anything from Demi since her sorry not sorry apology on Monday. We have not heard from her team. These are photoshopped images. Thanks again for all of your support.
Oh, Lordy.
So again, I don't know if that's real.
Yeah.
But if that is real, I am very much bothered. And I'm not even going to blame Demi for that one necessarily, because anyone can make a Photoshop.
Yeah.
Could have been one of her little stands that didn't like the way she was being dragged and so tried to jump in there to defend their queen. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily blaming Demi for that. What I am saying is that I find that disgusting where it's circulating and everyone's going, see, Demi came from a good place. See, Demi made up for her mistakes. See, Demi.
Yeah.
And the frozen yogurt shop is basically going,
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. We don't want to work with her.
Yeah.
We don't want anything to do with her. And I'm just kind of like, oh my God. Because, of course, once again, Demi's platform is bigger.
Yeah.
So this is going to reach far wider, and more people are going to hear about that and assume that it's the truth.
Yeah.
Instead of listening to the actual business who's going, yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And again, this could all be fake. I don't know about this part. I have no receipts for this part other than the images. But again, they're claiming that the first set were photoshopped. The whole thing could be photoshopped.
Who knows?
I don't know for sure. So don't quote me on that. But if that's real, I am very much bothered.
Yeah.
I am very bothered.
Ugh.
When you have a platform, I think it is so important that you take into account that everything you say and everything you do matters.
Yeah.
And yes, that seems like a very unfair amount of pressure because ultimately we're all human. We're all people. There are going to be times that we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
But that being said, when you have 100 million followers and you decide to drag a business, a small family-owned business in LA during COVID because you didn't like one of the things that they had for sale in their shop. Girl, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Girl, it wasn't meant for you.
Yeah.
Why are you dragging them over trying to cater to other people and then saying, well, I'm in the right because I have an eating disorder and you need to consider my feelings? The whole way along, she's been up on this high horse and I am so bothered by it. And again, just to take to Instagram, and she says, I'm only human. I do make mistakes. And, I got defensive of everyone out there that has an eating disorder and doesn't have a platform to defend themselves on.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't remember asking Demi Lovato to defend me.
I believe like a real apology is in order from her, of course.
A real one, not a half-ass. Well, I came from a good place, you guys.
You can still come from a good place and do damage.
And that's exactly it. And you need to apologize for the damage done.
Yeah.
You know what they say? The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
You can mean well, but still hurt people.
Yeah.
And just because you mean well doesn't mean that you are absolved from that.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, when you have 100 million followers and you decide to attack a small business, you knew what you were doing.
That's not using your following with grace.
You thought everybody was going to be on your side, and in the beginning, everyone was. Yeah. And that's what really bothers me here is the amount of sheep that just blindly follow. They say, oh, this famous person said that, must be real.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so all of her stands went on and tried to destroy this business as well. Number one, I don't agree with Demi. But number two, I certainly don't agree with what any of her followers did. No. And I'm not saying that it's all of her followers. It's this small group. It's the extremists, right? Yeah. Every movement, every following has extremists in it.
Yeah.
But that being said, again, to take a business from like a 4 or 5 star to a 1 star full of fake reviews, I own a business. I would have been devastated.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially because what did this business do wrong?
Nothing.
They offered a product that wasn't even intended for her, and she got her panties in a twist about it. They were trying to do right by everybody else, and somehow they ended up the bad guys.
I know.
And nearly got destroyed because of it.
Yeah.
I'm so bothered. So you know what? If I ever get a chance to visit LA, y'all know where I'm going. I'm going to the Big Chill, and I'm going to look at them, and I would gladly shake their hands and say, good on you.
I want some froyo.
I want some froyo. Give me the biggest one you've got.
I want froyo too.
And I would gladly sit there and say, hey, guess what? Number 1, I also have an eating disorder. Number 2, give me a giant frozen yogurt. And number 3, I will buy all of the sugar-free cookies you have. Not all of us are like this.
I would not buy the sugar-free cookies, but I would say good on you for having them there.
I would buy the sugar-free cookies and then give them out to diabetics.
Do you have a group of specific diabetics?
I would just like cut out a picture of Demi's face, put them on the cookie, and then resell them and go Demi's diet cookies. # diet culture vultures. Except now it's Demi's face.
Oh, God.
But that's it for this episode. Let us know what you think on
Yeah.
this subject, because I'm sure that there are other people out there who are also probably kind of
Yeah.
bothered by this.
There's probably details we're missing, too.
And I mean, this brings up another interesting topic, which I think is the next one we're
Yeah.
going to be discussing. So stay tuned for that. I wonder if anyone's going to be able to guess what we're discussing in the next episode.
I don't know.
Gonna have to wait to find out.
Yes.
But that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening.
We hope you're doing good, guys. We hope you have an amazing week. And take a gay bye, gay, guys.
Bye.